I'm making corned beef stew today, and all you need to make the corned beef stew is corned beef, the canned corned beef, and that's all you need. But I like to put spam pieces in it, the luncheon meat. So I'm going to cut up the spam and broil it a little and then add to the stew, but that is optional. You don't need it. For the vegetables, you need a medium onion, 2 medium to large tomatoes, and 4 cloves of garlic. Onions, tomatoes, and garlic. And I'm going to cut up the vegetables, and then we'll start making the stew. I'm using a 1/4 cup of canola oil. I need seasoning, and I'm using salt, black pepper, and rosemary as my seasoning. And I will add 3 tablespoonfuls of tomato paste to it. So it's onions, tomatoes, garlic, and tomato paste in oil, vegetable oil, and this time it's canola oil. And then I'll season them. I use some of my favorite seasonings: rosemary, black pepper, and I'm going to season with some salt. I've cut up the luncheon meat, and I'm going to put it in the oven to broil it a little bit. Now we're going to start the stew. Heat the oil and then saute the onions in the oil. Add the garlic also. You're going to saute for maybe 3 minutes, and this is on medium-high heat. Okay, now we add the tomatoes, and I'm going to add the 3 tablespoonfuls of tomato paste and stir. I'm going to add about 3 to 4 teaspoons of water, just so I can get a little water in here, but I'm going to put it in the bowl so I can get the paste that is in here in this tube. Okay, so I'm adding the water, and then I'm going to season it. Like I said, I'm going to use rosemary, black pepper, and some salt. Season to your taste. I'm just going to sprinkle a little rosemary on it. You don't need a whole lot of seasoning, but you need to season to your taste. The rosemary is just maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of rosemary. A 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and then the salt. Season to taste. You really don't need a whole lot of salt because the corned beef and the spam are salty. So watch the salt. You may want to add the salt after you've added the meat, if you don't want a lot of salt. We'll let it simmer, so I'm going to lower the heat to low or medium low, and I'm going to let it simmer until the vegetables are cooked, almost cooked. From time to time you need to stir so that the bottom will not stick. So we're going to let it simmer. So now it's on medium-low, it's simmering. I've let the stew simmer for like 10 minutes, and my spam, the luncheon meat, is all broiled. So I'm going to add the luncheon meat. So I'm going to add the corned beef. Corned beef all ready to go in. I'm going to add the corned beef also. cut up the corned beef, and then we're going to mix it into the stew. Okay. I raised the heat up to medium when I started to put the meat in. So I'm going to let it start to simmer, and if it's too much heat, I'll lower it and then let it simmer a little bit more until it's cooked. I'm going to let it simmer for 10 more minutes, and then it will be cooked. The corned beef stew is cooked now, so I'm going to take it off the stove. The corned beef stew can be eaten with rice and vegetables, any vegetable that you like, carrots, cabbage, broccoli, anything, and rice, or potatoes with a vegetable and rice. So here is the rice and corned beef stew with cabbage as a side dish. Enjoy.